Hello, everyone. I hope that you are having a good day. I wanted to tell you today about a man that I'm familiar with. He was an energetic worker who left home to roam the globe as a spiritual ambassador, a missionary. Traveling to a beautiful corner of the Mediterranean, he came to a port on the Aegean. It's famous for its grapes, wine production, and white cheese. Sailors, importers, exporters, students, and philosophers from all across Europe and Asia flowed through the gates and harbors of this city, and its population was a melting pot for humanity. Fishermen and bankers were equally at home within its borders. Yet it was a dark place, a city with no spiritual light. It was a city badly in need of hope, needed a church. My friend, an experienced missionary strategist, was as dedicated as anyone you've ever seen. As he explored the neighborhoods of the city, his heart yearned within him, and he instinctively saw the possibilities of launching a meaningful ministry. The city was a virtual open door for humanitarian aid and evangelism. People were searching for some good news, and the missionary could have done a great work here. But alas, it came to naught. Something stopped this man in his tracks, and he abandoned the work before it even started. He left the city abruptly, the work undone, the door unopened. The problem wasn't related to politics or persecution or finances or failing health. There were no issues with his passport or visa, no official objections to his work, no legal challenges, and no bullying. The man simply suffered an anxiety attack, triggered by an event far away, and at the moment of greatest opportunity, his emotions were hijacked by a wave of worry that robbed him of his ability to concentrate. He became so obsessed by his distress that he could not function. And in a state of panic, the man packed his bags and moved on like a vagabond, unable to focus, unable to pursue his work, unable to find peace, hoping to hear good news further down the line. The man that I am talking to you about today, the man's name is the Apostle Paul. He later described what happened to him in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 12 and 13, and chapter 7, verse 5. He said, "Furthermore, when I came to Troas to preach Christ's gospel, and a door was opened to me by the Lord, I had no rest in my spirit, because I did not find Titus my brother. So taking my leave of them, I went from there into Macedonia. For when we came to Macedonia, our bodies had no rest, and we were troubled on every side. On the outside were conflicts, on the inside were fears." Paul grew so worried about the problem in his signature work of Corinth that he couldn't focus on the possibilities in Troas. Paul had expected Titus to meet him in Troas with updates, and he hoped with better news. But Titus never showed up, and Paul couldn't concentrate on the work at hand because of the fears within and the uncertainties afar. To me, this is a remarkable admission. It shows us the human side of the great biblical hero. It indicates the Apostle Paul was predisposed to anxiety. He battled fears within as acutely as he battled conflicts on the outside. Anxiety stopped his life. It stopped his ministry. But I believe Paul came up with a way to wisely self-medicate with biblical truth. And the day finally came when he was ready to share his method of waging war on worry and he passed it along to us in the letter of Philippians. Philippians 4 through 9, represents the answer Paul developed for the problem he described in 2 Corinthians chapter 2. After my message yesterday, I see a great need to discuss anxiety further. I received several messages where people thanked me and some shared what was going on in their life. There is a lot to be concerned about, and we don't now know how long the stay-at-home policy is going to be in effect. And we are filled with anxiety over what might happen. And we have concerns, some great concerns that are real. But I don't want those concerns to cross over into anxiety. And so over the next several days, I want us to look at what Paul teaches there in Philippians 4. I want us to just take a little bit each day. This is about the time that we spent today, because I don't want to take a lot of your time. But if we can learn a little bit each day and let that soak in, I think we can learn a lot from the Apostle Paul. So we're going to call this little study, Waging War on Worry with the Weapons of the Word. So if you're ready to wage war on worry, look for a video every day and invite your anxious friends to look for these messages as well. And I trust that God will do a work in our life just like he did in the life of the Apostle Paul, because Paul learned a lot through his experiences, but he learned how to wage the war and get victory. God bless you. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.